You don't need to fix anything right now. You don't need to make a decision. Just let yourself arrive here. If you're listening to this, there's a good chance you're tired in a way that sleep doesn't fully touch. Tired of conversations where you agree, then replay them later. Tired of commitments you didn't really want. Tired of saying it's fine when something inside you quietly tightens. You might be wondering why you keep saying yes when you mean no. Why it happens almost automatically. Why the words leave your mouth before you've checked in with yourself. And maybe, somewhere underneath that, there's frustration or self-blame. A sense that you should be better at this by now. So let's slow this down together. Because the truth is, this isn't about weakness. It isn't about poor boundaries. And it isn't a personal failure. What's happening makes sense. There are moments where you feel a subtle pressure in your chest when someone asks for something. A moment where your mind scans for consequences. Will they be disappointed? Will this change how they see me? Will this create tension I don't have the energy to hold? And before you consciously decide anything, your body decides for you. Yes feels safer than no. Yes feels smoother. Yes keeps things calm. You might tell yourself you're being considerate, or flexible, or easygoing. But later, when you're alone, there's a quiet resentment. Not always toward the other person, often toward yourself. You replay the moment and think, why didn't I just say what I needed? Why did I agree to something I didn't want? What rarely gets said out loud is this. In those moments, your nervous system isn't trying to please. It's trying to protect. When your system senses potential conflict, disapproval, or emotional friction, it looks for the fastest path back. To safety, not long-term fulfillment, not authenticity, immediate relief. And for many people, especially those who have lived in high-pressure environments, emotional safety has often depended on being agreeable, on staying likable, on not making things harder. So your system learned a simple rule. Connection equals safety. Disruption equals risk. Saying yes keeps the connection intact. Saying no feels like stepping into uncertainty. This isn't a flaw. It's conditioning. In busy, performance-driven cultures, we're rarely taught how to tolerate discomfort. In relationships, we're taught how to manage impressions, how to be reliable, how to be low. Over time, your body learns that your needs can wait, that harmony matters more than honesty, that discomfort now is worse than exhaustion later. So when you say yes while meaning no, it's not because you don't know yourself. It's because your system is prioritizing emotional safety in the only way it knows how. And here's the part that often brings relief. Your nervous system doesn't respond to logic. It responds to patterns. It remembers moments where disagreement led to withdrawal. Moments where expressing needs felt like too much. Moments where silence felt safer than truth. So it steps in early, before you can weigh your options, before you can check your capacity. It chooses the option that historically reduced stress the fastest. This means the guilt you feel afterward is misplaced. You didn't fail yourself. Your system did what it was trained to do. And when you see it this way, something softens. You can stop arguing with yourself about why you should have acted differently. You can stop labeling yourself as passive or weak. You can recognize that this was an intelligent response in a world that often rewards compliance over clarity. Shame dissolves when understanding arrives. And when shame fades, something else becomes possible. Choice, not forced change. Not sudden confidence. Just a little more space between the request and the response. Because once your system feels safer, it doesn't have to rush. This is why pressure never creates real boundaries. Pressure makes the nervous system tighten. And a tight system defaults to old habits. But when there's less internal urgency, clarity starts to return naturally. You notice your body signals sooner. The hesitation, the internal no that's quiet but present. And you begin to realize something important. You're allowed to pause. You're allowed to not know immediately. You're allowed to value your capacity as much as your relationships. Saying no isn't a rejection of others. It's an act of self-respect. And self-respect doesn't require force. It grows when you trust yourself to respond honestly, even gently. You don't have to become a different person. You don't have to confront everyone. You don't have to overhaul your life. You just need safety first. Safety in your body. Safety in your pace. Safety in the idea that connection doesn't disappear the moment you honor yourself. Over time, your nervous system learns new data. That honesty doesn't always lead to rupture. That relationships can stretch and survive. That you don't have to abandon yourself to stay connected. And that learning happens quietly, without effort, without pressure. So if you're still saying yes when you mean no, let that be information, not an accusation. It tells you where you still need reassurance, where your system still wants gentleness. Nothing is wrong with you. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're adapting, and you're allowed to adapt again. At your pace, in your time, without forcing anything. For now, just let this understanding settle. Let your body feel the absence of urgency. Let the idea land that safety can include you, too. There's nowhere you need to go from here. Just a little more room to breathe, and that's enough.